Hi everyone, welcome to another video, and you have clicked on this video because you are watching a review of Heritage by Guerlain, and this is the outer toilette version, so let's get on with it. Alright, so Guerlain's Heritage. This is a more recent version. Now, there is a more recent version, which are now in the L'Homme Ideal bottles. They've now put them in here. I'm assuming that it's not a reformulation, it's just a rebottle. However, we don't really know. But this is the one that I've got. This one is the one before they've just changed to go in here. So, still a recent bottle. Just so you know, but this is not a older version. So going off some notes here that I've put down, Heritage was released in 1992, and it was Guerlain's sort of nod to older style fragrances, but made in 1992, when most things were just very aquatic and fresh, and that's how they were starting to go. In the early 90s, Guerlain decided to put an old school sort of scent out. Did very well, surprisingly. I don't think it took off massively straight away due to the time of the era, but certainly caught traction as time went on. And it's classed as a woody spicy, which I would actually agree with that. It's definitely a woody spicy. There's a lot of notes, and I don't usually bother with notes, but it's laughable how many notes there is. So top notes: lavender, aldehydes, juniper berries, clovey sage, bergamot, lemon, violet, green notes, and petitgrain. So off the top, when you first spray this, I get a nice, it's just almost like a refreshing blast. I can smell a bit of a hint of like a fresh lavender. And aldehydes, that's what I get off the top, and there's just maybe a hint, if you search for it, a little bit of like a juniper berry smell, but you've got to hunt for it. If it's just in the air, I get aldehydes and a hint of like a lavender kind of smell going on. Said to have patchouli, coriander, geranium, pepper, balsam fir, rose, carnation, pink pepper, orris root, jasmine, lily of the valley, and the base is sandalwood, amber, oak moss, cedar and musk. So the rest of the notes for what I get in this is I get a patchouli, I get a bit of a pink pepper vibe, but that is tending more to sort of smooth out the patchouli a little bit. And this is like a, like a bitey patchouli, a spicy patchouli, but it's smoothed out a little bit by something. Now I'm going to assume it's a little bit of the pink pepper because I can just about detect it, and a combination of that with the sandalwood, which is at the base, and get a hint of cedar, and definitely get like a musky vibe from it. So that's what I get. And my notes I've put fresh, clean, woody, masculine, with a bit of spice. That's pretty much how I would describe it. In the air, I'm wearing it today, you're getting a spicy vibe from the patchouli, but it's mixing with something that smells similar to sort of a cinnamon, but I don't know if there's cinnamon in this. It doesn't say there is, but I think it's like a combination of like musks and sandalwood and a patchouli. It's almost giving it a sort of cinnamon-like vibe. Now, this to me, and quite a few others actually, I had a look on Fragrance here. Now, a couple of people mentioned it, maybe because I've been mentioning it for a while. I don't know, because those reviews on there were fresh. But I get, this smells like if Calvin Klein Obsession was made in '92, and it was given the job to Guerlain to make it for them. That's how this would have, let's say it would have come out. So to me, this has got a similar, not the same, but similar vibe to Calvin Klein Obsession, but done by master perfumers with better ingredients. It's blended better. Now, Calvin Klein Obsession, to my nose, does have a dated and old man vibe. Now, not many older fragrances do that to me, but Calvin Klein Obsession does, and personally I can't wear it. I just get that vibe from it. This doesn't have that. This has got almost like a timeless feel to it, and for me it's still got an older man's vibe, as in a more mature person would pull this off. I say 30 upwards would suit anybody, and it could be actually a good signature scent all year round for anybody who's, say, mature in their person and of a more mature age of about 30 plus. Could be worn all year round as a signature scent. Yes, it's more masculine. I don't think many women would want to wear it, although you could. I mean, it's not overly masculine, it's not really heavy in one thing, not really heavy in the woods, not really heavy in the patchouli. It keeps a sort of freshness to it. It's done really well. I mean, the sandalwood and the musks, the patchouli, and everything that's going on seems to, they've done it in a way that seems to stay like that, but still like a freshness to it. It's done really well, and in a very French way. The one thing that lets it down on me is performance. Performance lasts okay, about above average. I'd say it's about 5 or 6 hours on the skin. The projection for me is about moderate. It really doesn't project that much. It's a nice scent bubble for myself or someone who's standing next to me, but for me personally, that's about as far as it goes. So performance for me is about average across the board, average longevity, average projection. So good again for a gentleman. You know, so gentlemen don't want things that's super heavy that fill a room, but still want to be smelt if they're next to someone. So yeah, a good gentleman's cologne. It is what that is. Again, Calvin Klein Obsession, if the French had got hold of it, well, Guerlain had got hold of it to do it, and I think that's what's happened. You know, they've looked back and thought, what can we do? Pull out an old school scent. Let's remake something, or to have some similar. And I reckon they've looked at the Calvin Klein Obsession, because that actually started in the way that smelt. Other things coming out that was similar. It was like one of its kind at the time, and I think they may have looked back and thought, you know, let's do our version. What we see as an old school scent, and you've got a lot of things in here that a lot of old school fragrances tend to pull in. A lot of there's oak moss in here, sandalwood, musk. Then you've got aldehydes and lavender, patchouli, lily of the valley. A lot of all these, and there's petitgrain. A lot of these are the older materials that used to be put into a lot of fragrances back in the day, and yeah, I reckon they had other things, but I reckon Calvin Klein Obsession was like one of the bigger influences to make this perfume, in my opinion. So very good. I do like it. Would I rebuy it? No. I mean, it's not my favourite colour, but I do like it. As it dries down a bit more, the patchouli starts coming off, but it doesn't really see. It's more like a spiciness. It doesn't necessarily, you would say, oh, that's patchouli. It just comes a bit more, I don't know, tangy, if you will. A bit more spicy, a bit tangy, a bit bitey, with the sandalwood, but it still remains. I don't know how it does it, but it still remains quite fresh. It's not a heavy scent. Nothing pulls it down and makes it heavy. Everything is still fresh. Maybe it's the mix of the aldehydes, maybe that's staying around quite a bit. Aldehydes usually die off quite quick, but maybe it's a combination of a few other things, maybe some of the florals in here. It's keeping it really nice and fresh and almost clean. You know, some fragrances can be a bit spicy but still be clean. That's how this comes across. So if this sort of thing sounds appealing to you, definitely give Heritage a try. The Eau de Toilette. I don't know what the Eau de Parfum smells like, but certainly the Eau de Toilette is a nice perfume. I'm glad I've got it, and I will be using a full bottle. As like I said, I don't think I would rebuy, as I've got other Guerlains that I personally love more and would spend my money on to rebuy. But still a fantastic fragrance, and one again I'm wearing today as my signature scent for today. And yeah, I've been sitting there and I'm getting whiffs of it and enjoying it. So let me know in the comments below what you think of Guerlain's Heritage Eau de Toilette. Have you got this version? I've got, you know, an old version, a vintage version, whatever it is, leave a comment below. I'll answer as soon as I can. Thank you very much for watching, really appreciate it. As always, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up and a subscribe if you haven't already, and hopefully I'll see you again soon on the next video.